I'm Kristin Brady, Project Director for YouthPower Action and Director of the Youth Department at FHI 360. And I'm going to talk to you about a positive youth development program that we developed with USAID. We all know that positive youth development is an underpinning of YouthPower. But what does it really mean? There are some very simple ways we talk about positive youth development, or PYD. For example, we all know that PYD is strength-based as opposed to deficit-based, that youth are part of the solution and not part of the problem, as we just heard. But we know that's really just a starting point. We need to get a lot deeper to think about what really is PYD and how do we do it. There's a wealth of evidence and tools in the United States that have been developed for the U.S. audience in the U.S. context. We've got frameworks, we've got tools. We've often heard about the 5 C's by Richard Lerner at Tufts University, the Search Institute's Development Assets Profile, and other tools. But these tools and the approach in general are not well known in developing countries. And USAID and YouthPower are trying to change that through some concentrated training opportunities. USAID asked YouthPower Action to develop a curriculum to train USAID staff in positive youth development. We developed a 5-day program. We trained trainers at the group of USAID Youth Corps so they could then deliver the training. And then we co-delivered the first PYD training in Pretoria in April. Since then, that curriculum has been adapted for a half-day and a full-day session, as well as a 1-hour session just to introduce the topic and market the training to the USAID staff. USAID has since delivered this training in a number of different formats to headquarters and mission staff, in global health, in E3, in the DRG Center, and are planning to do another training soon at the Pan-Regional SOTA in October. And some of you may be registered for tomorrow's session at Youth Economic Opportunities tomorrow morning. So what is this curriculum? So if we look at the topics on the left, these are the topics that we covered in the 1-day curriculum, the 1-day program, and along with some activities to apply those topics. And then on the topics on the right are the additional topics that we covered in the full 5-day workshop. The first 2 days in the 5-day workshop are covered in the topics in blue on the left. And then by day 3, we had participants take what they learned. They read an existing youth assessment. They identified a single problem, a youth problem they wanted to think about and design a solution. And then they mapped out the causes of that problem and how those causes related to one another. So you could think about, we know that these challenges youth are facing are interrelated, and our solutions have to be holistic. So they then had to design a cross-sectoral youth program. At the end of the workshop, they all developed an action plan for how they were going to address PYD across the program cycle when they went back to their missions. One of the biggest issues we struggled with in developing this training was how do we make PYD concrete and real and actionable. So we worked with YouthPower Learning, who at the time was developing PYD domains and a PYD measurement toolkit. And we identified a series of 7 features, and those features are what comes out of the research from existing youth development programs. And these are the 7 features. And we did some activities with these features to help people think about how do we actually apply these features across the socio-ecological spectrum. So you'll see if you come to our round table, a little matrix. This is one of the activities we did in the workshop where we had to think about each of these features and how would you apply these features at the level of the individual, the family, the community, or the system level. And this was one of the things that we then had to apply this across different challenges because we know we can apply PYD for lots of different topics. So we did it for thinking about countering violent extremism, for youth employment, or for addressing health issues. So if you come to our round table, I'll be there with Amy Ucello, who's been delivering the training, a number of the different workshops with USAID. We want to share the matrix. We want to share a couple of the activities we've developed and share some of the reactions that USAID has had to the training. We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks.